Hawaii is often perceived as a billionaire's playground, a lush paradise defined by its turquoise waters and emerald peaks. However, behind the oceanfront resorts operates a highly insulated, fiercely competitive economy. Within this closed ecosystem, a powerful dynasty of Filipinas has risen from historical plantation roots to command absolute financial dominance. They are the invisible architects of Pacific wealth. This is the staggering countdown of the richest and most powerful Filipinas in Hawaii. Number 8. Lalaine Ignao, the beverage and cultural entrepreneur. To understand the foundational levels of wealth creation in a geographically isolated market like Hawaii, one must first look at the consumer goods and hospitality sector. In a state that thrives on tourism and local loyalty, capturing the palate of the population is a highly lucrative endeavor. This is where Lalaine Ignao, the dynamic co-owner and chief executive officer of Sama-Sama, enters the financial landscape. While the precise net worth of emerging food and beverage founders is closely guarded, the economic implications of her business model are undeniably powerful. Sama-Sama is not just a beverage company, it is a masterclass in the monetization of cultural heritage within a high-margin industry. Operating a physical product business in Hawaii requires navigating some of the most complex and expensive supply chains in the United States. Shipping costs, raw material import taxes, and the sheer cost of commercial retail space usually crush young businesses. The Jones Act, which regulates maritime commerce in U.S. waters, adds a layer of logistical complexity that only the most savvy entrepreneurs can overcome. Lalaine bypassed these traditional pitfalls by creating a highly branded, culturally resonant product that commands premium pricing. By infusing traditional Filipino flavors into the modern, aesthetic-driven beverage market, she tapped into the massive demographic power of the local Filipino-American community while simultaneously appealing to the high-spending tourist sector. The Filipino community represents one of the largest ethnic groups in the islands, providing a built-in consumer base that is both loyal and economically significant. Furthermore, Lalaine's influence extends far beyond her profit margins. She is a highly sought-after voice in the corporate community, recently headlining the prestigious Entrepreneurship Summit at the University of Hawaii at Manoa's Shidler College of Business. By taking the stage alongside other elite founders, she cemented her status as a thought leader in the Honolulu business sector. Lalaine proves that the first step to building a lasting empire in the Pacific is not merely selling a product, but successfully commercializing an identity. She is laying the groundwork for a scalable brand that has the potential to expand far beyond the shores of Oahu, potentially reaching the mainland United States where the demand for authentic, high-quality, Asian-inspired consumer goods is skyrocketing. Number 7. Zulueta Furukawa, the marketing strategist and consumer goods founder. As we escalate up the ladder of financial influence, we encounter women who have mastered not just one industry, but the delicate synergy between media, marketing, and physical manufacturing. Zulueta Furukawa is a formidable presence in the Maui business ecosystem. She is the founder and owner of Maui Chili Oil, a consumer packaged goods brand that has successfully penetrated the hyper-competitive local food market. But her culinary enterprise is merely the most visible asset in a highly diversified, multidisciplinary career portfolio that generates significant sustained capital. Kit's true financial weapon is her profound understanding of narrative and consumer psychology. Before launching her own product lines, she built an extensive background in media, working with PBS Hawaii and serving in various high-level communications leadership positions for the County of Maui and the University of Hawaii, Maui College. In the insular economy of Hawaii, where relationships and reputation are the ultimate currency, controlling the narrative is a distinct form of wealth. She leveraged this deep institutional knowledge to establish a highly successful marketing consultancy, providing creative, high-ticket solutions to corporate, small business, and government clients. When you run a consultancy that advises the government and major corporate entities, you are no longer just participating in the economy. You are actively shaping its direction. Her launch of Maui Chili Oil was a calculated execution of her own marketing brilliance, translating intellectual capital into a tangible, high-demand export. Moreover, as a director for the Maui Filipino Chamber of Commerce, Kit holds significant political and social capital. The chamber serves as a vital nexus for trade and political advocacy, ensuring that Filipino-led businesses have a seat at the table during major policy discussions. Kit is a strategic architect who understands that true financial resilience comes from owning your own intellectual property, controlling your distribution, and maintaining an ironclad network of influential decision-makers. Her ability to pivot from public service to private enterprise exemplifies the modern Hawaiian power broker, someone who understands that in a small island community, your name is your most valuable asset. Number 6. Grace Sales, the Luxury Real Estate Authority. Wealth in Hawaii is inextricably tied to the land. It is a finite resource, restricted by aggressive zoning laws, geographical boundaries, and insatiable international demand. To control the flow of real estate in this market is to control the very lifeblood of the Hawaiian economy. Grace Sales represents this level of sophisticated financial dominance. As the president of the Maui Filipino Chamber of Commerce and a top-producing luxury real estate agent with Keller Williams Realty Maui, she operates at the exact intersection of international capital and local property acquisition. Grace is not a typical real estate agent. She is a highly educated legal and financial strategist. Armed with a Master of Laws from Stockholm University in Sweden and having previously interned at the United Nations Secretariat in New York, she brings a terrifyingly sharp, global perspective to the Maui property market. When ultra-high net worth buyers from the mainland United States or Asia look to park millions of dollars into Hawaiian estates, they require an agent who understands international finance, complex contracts, and elite negotiation. Grace facilitates these massive, multi-million-dollar transactions, commanding substantial commissions that place her personal revenue in the highest percentiles of the state. The Maui luxury market, particularly in enclaves like Wailea and Kapalua, operates on a level of exclusivity that few can penetrate. Property values here often defy national trends, driven by a scarcity of inventory and a constant influx of global wealth. But her wealth architecture does not stop at real estate. Grace is a master of diversified, cash-flowing assets. She is the owner of an independent travel agency and a lucrative MoneyGram branch, capitalizing on the massive, continuous flow of remittances and travel capital between Hawaii and the Philippines. By simultaneously controlling the sale of luxury estates, the logistics of international travel, and the highly profitable microtransactions of global money transfers, Grace Sales has built an economic fortress. She is a brilliant, multifaceted executive who treats the Hawaiian economy not as a single market, but as a chessboard of compounding investments. Number 5. Massie Cashen-Suguitan, the corporate property matriarch. While luxury real estate agents generate wealth through the initial sale of a property, the true, unending stream of capital in Hawaii's housing market lies in long-term property management. Enter Massie Cashen-Suguitan, a seasoned property management executive at Hawaiiana Management Company, the largest and most powerful association management firm in the state. In Hawaii, the vast majority of premium wealth is concentrated in luxury condominiums, massive gated communities, and exclusive homeowner associations. The individuals who manage these entities wield an incredible amount of systemic power. As a high-level executive operating on the island of Maui, Massie oversees the operational logistics, financial health, and physical maintenance of massive, multi-million-dollar community assets. The financial scale of her domain is staggering. Condominium associations in Hawaii, often referred to as AOAOs or Associations of Apartment Owners, collect millions of dollars annually in maintenance fees, reserve funds, and special assessments. Massie is the corporate matriarch responsible for protecting and enhancing these massive pools of capital. Her daily decisions impact the property values of thousands of homeowners, from local residents to absentee billionaire investors. Managing these associations requires more than just administrative skill. It requires the ability to navigate complex legal frameworks, including Hawaii Revised Statutes Chapter 514B, which governs condominiums. Holding the position of secretary for the Maui Filipino Chamber of Commerce, Massie's influence is deeply woven into the corporate fabric of the island. Her expertise requires a flawless understanding of corporate finance and crisis management. In a state where a single hurricane or supply chain disruption can cause millions of dollars in property damage, her leadership is the shield that protects generational wealth. Massie Cashen-Suguitan proves that the most powerful women in real estate are often the ones operating behind the scenes, holding the keys to the corporate structures that keep the entire luxury housing market from collapsing. She commands a sector where stability is the ultimate premium, and her corporate influence is absolute. Number 4. Angela Perez. Baraquio, the pageant icon. Turned media CEO, we now cross into the territory of women who have monetized their own historical legacy to build multi-million-dollar personal empires. In 2001, Angela Perez Baraquio shattered a massive cultural ceiling by becoming the first Asian American, the first Filipina, and the first teacher to be crowned Miss America. While many pageant winners enjoy a brief year of fame before fading into obscurity, Angela recognized her crown for what it truly was: an unparalleled, highly leveraged asset of intellectual property. Born and raised in Hawaii as one of 10 children in a hardworking Filipino family, she transformed her national platform into a lifelong, highly profitable business apparatus. Angela's financial trajectory is a brilliant study in the economics of personal branding. Following her reign, she did not simply return to a quiet life. She aggressively entered the media and entertainment sectors. She became a high-profile television host, a sought-after public speaker commanding premium appearance fees, and a published author. In the modern economy, attention is capital, and Angela has maintained a vice-like grip on her public image for over 2 decades. She eventually founded her own production and media company, transitioning from being the talent in front of the camera to the executive producer making the financial decisions behind it. Her work often focuses on character-based education and advocacy, aligning her commercial interests with her background as an educator. In Hawaii, where local heroes are fiercely celebrated, Angela's brand equity is practically recession-proof. She commands boardrooms with the same poise she used to win a national television audience. Furthermore, her deep investments in education and public advocacy have solidified her status not just as a celebrity, but as an institutional pillar within the community. Angela Perez Baraquio turned a glass tiara into a corporate boardroom. Her wealth is built on the unshakable foundation of her own historic identity, proving that a masterfully managed public persona can yield a lifetime of compounding, high-level financial returns. Number 3. Bennette Misalucha, the banking and political power broker. As we enter the top 3, the wealth we are analyzing transitions from personal enterprise to immense, systemic institutional control. Bennette Misalucha operates at the powerful intersection of high finance and state legislation. To understand her influence is to understand how the Hawaiian economy is actually governed. For decades, Bennette was a dominant force in Hawaii's notoriously exclusive banking sector, holding high-level executive positions at massive financial institutions, including her tenure as a vice president at First Hawaiian Bank. In the corporate banking world of Honolulu, executives like Bennette dictate the flow of hundreds of millions of dollars in commercial lending, corporate financing, and wealth management. She was responsible for bridging the gap between massive pools of institutional capital and the businesses desperate to access it. Banking in Hawaii is a unique beast. The market is dominated by a few major players, making the role of a vice president at the state's largest bank one of extreme influence. But Bennette recognized that true power requires more than just controlling the money. It requires controlling the laws that govern the money. Leveraging her immense corporate network, she transitioned into politics, serving as a Hawaii state senator representing District 16. In the legislative chambers, she possessed the authority to vote on zoning laws, tax structures, and state budgets, the very mechanisms that determine how wealth is created and preserved in the islands. The transition from the bank vault to the Senate floor allowed her to apply a financier's precision to public policy. After her political tenure, she did not retire. She launched her own highly successful public relations and business strategy firm. Today, she is the ultimate corporate fixer. When massive mainland corporations or international conglomerates want to do business in Hawaii, they must navigate a maze of local regulations and cultural nuances. Bennette is the gatekeeper they hire to ensure their survival. Her net worth is bolstered by decades of executive banking salaries, lucrative consulting contracts, and unparalleled political capital. Bennette Misalucha is the woman who knows the rules of the game because she helped write them. Number 2. Evelyn Casamina, the mortgage matriarch. If you want to find the true source of liquid wealth in Hawaii, you must look at the women who finance the very ground the state is built upon. Evelyn Casamina is the quiet, brilliant matriarch behind one of the most profitable financial institutions in the Pacific. Alongside her husband, Roland Casamina, Evelyn co-founded House of Finance in 1995. While other entrepreneurs were busy opening restaurants or retail stores, the Casaminas recognized that the ultimate product to sell in Hawaii was debt, specifically mortgage-backed real estate debt. The financial footprint of House of Finance is nothing short of astronomical. Consistently ranked among Hawaii Business Magazine's top 250 most profitable companies, the firm is a juggernaut of capital origination. To put their scale into perspective, in the year 2021 alone, their company funded nearly $235 million in mortgage loans. They are the invisible bankroll behind thousands of property transactions across the islands. Evelyn's immense wealth is derived from the steady, highly lucrative stream of origination fees, interest structures, and corporate dividends generated by moving $250 million in a single fiscal year. The mortgage industry in Hawaii is particularly profitable due to the high median home prices, which often exceed $1 million for a single-family home on Oahu. This means that every transaction processed by House of Finance carries a significant financial weight. But Evelyn Casamina's power is most visibly demonstrated through her staggering, almost aggressive level of philanthropy. When the Filipino Community Center in Waipahu was being built, the Casamina family spearheaded a $14.5 million fundraising campaign, personally donating nearly $1 million in liquid cash to the project. This center, known as Philcom, is the largest of its kind outside the Philippines and serves as a monument to the community's success. Furthermore, they established massive endowed scholarships at the University of Hawaii, ensuring their legacy is tied to the intellectual advancement of future generations. When a family can write million-dollar checks to community centers without flinching, they have transcended standard wealth. Evelyn Casamina is a foundational pillar of the Hawaiian economy. She doesn't just own a mansion, she owns the financial infrastructure that allows everyone else to buy theirs. Her story is one of visionary financial planning and a deep commitment to the community that fostered her success. Number 1. Susan Ocampo, the stealth Silicon Valley titan of Honolulu. We have arrived at the absolute pinnacle of Filipino-American wealth, and the woman holding the crown is entirely rewriting the rules of what it means to be a billionaire. With an estimated net worth of $2.3 billion, Susan Ocampo is officially listed by Forbes as the richest Filipino-American in the United States. And the most shocking part of her story? She operates this massive, global tech fortune entirely from the quiet, sun-drenched shores of Honolulu, Hawaii. Susan Ocampo is the ultimate ghost billionaire. In an era where the ultra-wealthy flaunt their private jets on Instagram and hire publicists to manage their image, Susan remains completely invisible. There are no social media profiles, no video interviews, and no verified public photographs of her face anywhere on the internet. She is a phantom who controls a multi-billion-dollar empire. Her wealth was not inherited. It was engineered on the microscopic level. Alongside her late husband, John Ocampo, Susan co-founded Sirenza Microdevices in 1984, entering the aggressively male-dominated Silicon Valley semiconductor industry. Sirenza focused on the design and manufacture of high-performance radio frequency components, the very chips that allow modern cellular and satellite communications to function. Serving as the company's chief financial officer for 15 years, she masterminded its financial architecture, steering the firm through a massive initial public offering in the year 2000, and orchestrating its highly lucrative sale to RF Microdevices in 2007 for approximately $300 million. But a true titan never truly retires. Following the sale, Susan reinvested her massive liquidity, launching GAIS Labs, a private investment firm laser-focused on the next generation of high-tech communications. Today, she sits on the board of directors and is the largest individual shareholder of MACOM Technology Solutions, a $10 billion publicly traded semiconductor behemoth. She personally owns roughly 15% of the entire company, a stake that forms the bedrock of her multi-billion-dollar net worth. While the celebrities and tourists fight for reservations in Waikiki, Susan Ocampo sits in absolute silence, watching her net worth fluctuate by tens of millions of dollars with a single tick of the Nasdaq. She chose Honolulu not for the beaches, but for the ultimate luxury it provides to the ultra-wealthy: absolute isolation and privacy. In a world where data is the new oil, she owns the hardware that moves that data. Her influence is felt in every smartphone, every satellite, and every high-speed data center on the planet. Susan Ocampo is the reigning queen of deep tech, a woman who turned silicon chips into a multi-billion-dollar legacy. She is the undisputed, forever reigning richest Filipina in Hawaii, proving that the most terrifyingly powerful fortunes are the ones you never see coming. Her life is a testament to the power of technical expertise, financial foresight, and the strategic use of privacy as a weapon of the elite. True power in the Pacific operates quietly, and these women are pulling the strings. Which of these staggering financial ascents fascinated you the most? Let us know in the comments below and subscribe to her status for more global wealth investigations.